In your headlines, Premier explains tourist board transition to DMO, security company recommends crime-fighting initiative, and new beach enforcement unit for the TCI. Hello Turks and Caicos, welcome to News Watch. I'm Latoya Walking, your anchor for Wednesday's newscast. The real news starts now. Signaling intentions to transform how the tourist industry is managed, that is the Turks and Caicos Tourist Board. The Premier in a press conference gave full clarity on the board's transition to Destination Management Organization. The details in this leading story. The KPMG Tourism Strategy Report of 2015 recommended a change in the structure of management of the tourism industry. Although not defining what the structure would look like, the government, after reviewing several models, has outlined that the DMO and regulatory authority will best meet our needs.
I start by saying that on the issue of the Turks and Caicos Islands Destination Management Organization and the Tourism Authority, anybody who read the Progressive National Party contract with the people would be aware that this was a key pillar of that contract. And so, for further explanation, we all know that the Turks and Caicos Islands is largely dependent on tourism. In fact, it could be said that it is the second most dependent tourism destination in the world. And therefore, we must ensure sustainable growth that reflects our luxury branding and one that allow us to really fine-tune our offerings as a destination.
Premier Mizik says that the Turks and Caicos Islands Tourist Board has succeeded its mandate, which he describes as limited, as he further explained.
The Turks and Caicos Islands Tourist Board has done a great job given its current mandate. That mandate is limited, however, and so the goal is to advance the Turks and Caicos Islands to the next level, to solidify the country's position as the top destination in the region and one of the best in the world. It is often said that nothing succeeds like failure, or nothing fails like success, rather. TCI has had a great run, and it has had that great run with a limited investment. But that will not continue on its own. That organic growth that we see will have to be supplemented with some deliberate, some intentional policy decisions and major investment in the sector.
Moving from good to great, Premier Mizik explained that the Destination Marketing and Management Organization, DMMO, will enhance the visitor's experience to the Turks and Caicos Islands.
The DMMO and the Tourism Authority together are key elements for the improvement of the visitor experience through an integrative network including all stakeholders, frontline public servants at the airport, immigration and customs, stakeholders from the taxi and tour operations to spas, the Turks and Caicos Islands Airports Authority, customs and immigration. All of these people, and that extends to jewelry stores, to shops, to restaurants, to water sports, to everyone who has anything to do with tourism is a stakeholder. And for a destination that is predominantly driven by tourism, that includes most people in the country. I want us to get in our head the concept of an integrated networking system in which decision-making is rests in the hands of every stakeholder, should have a seat at the table. And that is what we're trying to achieve through the DMO. As it stands at the moment, The remit of Turks and Caicos Islands Tourist Board is one that is limited because, after all, it is what I call a status organization. That is, it's driven purely by the state.
The government has released a tender for a consultancy to assist with the setup of these authorities and to also wind down the existing structure of the Tourist Board. This is meant to be a thorough and open process, as all invitations to tenders are.
And I can tell you that the ITT invitation to tender has gone out to hire a consultant to put things in motion to be able to have this set up as soon as possible. And there will be consultation with stakeholders in the next coming weeks and months.
More on the Premier's update in a subsequent newscast. A beach enforcement unit is being put together in light of the return of cruising to the country this December. This and other security issues were discussed at the last meeting of the National Security Council.
That meeting was held last week, Thursday, and came on the heels of the announcement of the return of cruise ships to the Turks and Caicos Islands. Chairing the session was His Excellency Governor Nigel Dakin and the Premier, the Honorable Charles Washington Mizik. Also in attendance were the Deputy Governor, the Deputy Premier, the Attorney General, the Minister for Infrastructure, the Minister for Tourism, the Acting Commissioner of Police, Ms. Victoria Farley from Border Security, and the Permanent Secretaries of Tourism, Immigration, and National Security, as well as the National Security Secretariat Threats Lead. Members discussed public order measures, especially on beaches in light of the return of cruise ships to Grand Turk in the very near future. These measures will include legislation, recruitment, and training of beach enforcement personnel, and the timeline for establishment of this unit. The return of cruising to the territory comes as the government signed an agreement with Carnival Corporation to extend the dock facility and improve the reception area. December 7th is the agreed-upon date for the return of this very important industry to the nation's capital, which has been hard hit by the 8-month-long closure of the industry due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, other measures discussed at last Thursday's Security Council meeting related to the review of liquor licensing. Members were updated by the Permanent Secretary of National Security on the liquor licensing review. This includes the relevant ordinance, revised application forms for new license, renewals, compliance, and enforcement issues. The members also received a presentation from Ms. Victoria Farley on border security, supported by the Permanent Secretary of Immigration. That presentation centered on the continuing work to establish a border force in the Turks and Caicos Islands. For PTV News Watch, I'm Delana Isles.
We'll take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more News Watch.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The head of one security company is speaking out against the country's issue of crime, bargaining a solution he says should decrease crime significantly. Here's more.
Evan Spencer, owner of Spence Security and Investigations, is voicing his concerns over the country's struggle with crime, noting that there is a solution that he believes will assist in a major way. Attempts at speaking to Evans personally did not fall through. However, he released a statement suggesting, as he has in the past, to allow security officers to be armed while in the line of duty, which he feels will assist in decreasing the likelihood of innocent victims being killed, which also leads to negative effects of our number one industry, citing that this industry and other regional countries have suffered greatly from an upturn in criminal activity. Evan Spencer went on to get specific in his notions to hire trained armed security officers to protect themselves, the country's businesses, and clients, deeming it a proactive initiative against law enforcement's reactive practices in the past. He says this should deter criminals from approaching establishments altogether. Evan Spencer noted that if these crimes continue on this trend, the country will sustain serious GDP losses, a decrease in investments, and tourism arrivals will begin to decline. He says, quote, "Crime will destroy the fabric of a nation. We cannot sit by idle and allow this to continue without taking serious steps, creating corrective initiative in order to prevent gun violence, which results in our citizens being gunned down like animals. That has to stop, and it has to stop now. Enough is enough. As citizens, we have the power." The longtime security specialist says he would be more than willing to meet with and conduct serious dialogue with authorities regarding effective security for the TCI.
A quick break now. More Newswatch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
The Turks and Caicos played hard during the Rugby North American Firemines tournament over the weekend. The event was hosted in the TCI and saw 9 teams face off to secure their spot in the World Rugby Sevens Challenger Series. Our home players stunned Team Jamaica in the first match by managing a strong defense, and a stunning try by David Bean gave them a 5-0 lead into halftime. However, Team Jamaica pulled it together for a 22-5 win against the Team TCI in the end. We got to see another try early in the match from David Bean during Team TCI's subsequent match against British Virgin Islands. Stanley Haven produced another try at the corner and propelled Team TCI to a lead at halftime. Ultimately, it was BVI who took home the win despite an additional try from Wesley Cherry. This meant that TCI would have to compete for the plate. Team TCI had the crowd in a frenzy during their match against Team Curaçao. Mark Dufresne scored the first try of the match following a scrum-off at the corner, and Paul McKenzie and Stanley Haven brought their running shoes for 2 glorious tries. Haven covered a mind-blowing 75 yards to carry it home for Team TCI. This match was the first win of the tournament for Team TCI, a 17-7 match point outcome. Team TCI went on to defeat Team Belize with an incredible 22-0 victory. However, in the end, TCI would end their tournament by successfully making it to the plate final but succumbing to Curacao 22-12. In the end, it was Team Jamaica who secured the overall victory and their place in the World Rugby Sevens Challengers Series. For your Sports Authority, I'm Ali Carvey.
Scattered thunderstorms across the Turks and Caicos Islands issued by the forecast for October 21st, 2021. Starting in Grand Turk on Thursday, scattered thunderstorms, high 85, low 80, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. South Caicos on Thursday, scattered thunderstorms, high 84, low 80, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. North and Middle Caicos on Thursday, scattered thunderstorms, high 84, low 80, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Parrot and Pine Key on Thursday, scattered thunderstorms, high 84, low 80, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And on Providenciales on Thursday, scattered thunderstorms, high 84, low 80, winds east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Time now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise at 6:48 a.m., sunset at 6:21 p.m. And for your high tides and low tides, high tides 8:49 a.m., 9:06 p.m. For your low tides, 2:31 a.m., 3:08 p.m. Time now for your hurricane outlook. For the North Atlantic Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 5 days. And that's it for your weather forecast and hurricane outlook. We'll be right back with more Newswatch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future. I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
The U.S. has issued a Level 4 travel advisory to its citizens, warning them against travel to Haiti. Here's what's going on over in that country and why others may want to take heed as well.
Kidnapping, major crime, and civil unrest are the reasons that Haiti has been issued a Level 4 travel advisory by the United States, warning their citizens to steer clear of travel to that country. It's reported that abductions are on a rise, the nation having recently reported the abduction of 16 American missionaries and 1 Canadian, adding to the country's 628 abductions already logged for this year alone. Of those 16 U.S. citizens abducted, there were 5 children, including an 8-month-old baby. Their ransom, we learn, has been set at $1 million per person. The Guardian referring to the country as the kidnapping capital of the world, where rich and poor alike are targeted for ransom. We learn that the victims are strategically chosen, often being picked by their likelihood for successful ransom. Sources say kidnapping has recently become the most profitable crime in Haiti, and its masterminds are escaping the law and poverty after their handsome ransom payouts. The 628 kidnappings which have taken place in Haiti this year more than triples last year's total. The increase in these crime, sources say, is a runoff of the growing power of violent criminal gangs. The U.S. travel advisory also speaks to continued reports of insecurity in the areas of fueling stations due to a lack of petrol. U.S. citizens are being asked to avoid unnecessary travel and remain vigilant as civil actions such as this, while largely peaceful, can be unpredictable. However, if for any reason you cannot avoid travel to the nation, you are asked to avoid demonstration and crowds. Do not attempt to drive through roadblocks. If you encounter a roadblock, turn around and get to a safe area, and monitor local media for breaking events, and be prepared to adjust your plans.
Fortis TCI announced the Turks and Caicos Energy Forum, a first for the territory. Officials say the conference is dedicated to addressing the transformation of the energy sector. Details in this next story. Highlighting the theme, the future of energy in the Turks and Caicos Islands, the event will bring together a wide cross-section of local stakeholders, including government, businesses, and Fortis TCI customers. Turks and Caicos Energy Forum takes place from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Thursday, October 21st at the Shore Club. This will be a limited in-person event and live stream for public viewing. Turks and Caicos Islands Premier Honorable Washington Mizik will deliver an address on energy, and President of the Caribbean Development Bank Dr. Jane Leon will bring the keynote presentation on advancing economic development in the Caribbean, the role of sustainable energy. Speaking on the upcoming forum, Fortis CEO and President Ruth Forbes stated, quote, "We are excited to bring together our energy stakeholders for this important and timely discussion. Energy is the foundation of a strong and growing economy, and this forum will offer stakeholders the opportunity to take part in forward-thinking and fruitful discussions about the actions required to transform the country's energy mix, while also balancing industry challenges. We hope this conference inspires a continued collaborative effort toward a more sustainable energy future for the Turks and Caicos Islands." End quote. Conference participants will also learn about energy transition experiences from Cayman Islands, Barbados, and Bermuda during a panel discussion on the future of energy. What does it look like and how do we get there? The conference will close with an in-depth discussion of the TCI Resilient National Energy Transition Strategy. This concludes today's edition of Newswatch. Remember, you can visit our website at www.ptvatci.com or join us every weekday at 6:30 p.m. I'm Latoya Walking. Until next time.